I'm going to show you guys my hair care routine for when I blow out my hair. With short hair, it can kind of be hard to blow out your hair, and I'm just going to give you guys a few pointers for giving yourself an at-home blowout. I do not brush my hair without using a wet brush. This is the Wet Brush Pro. It's just vented. For my heat protectant, I'm using Pepper Alley from Dry Bar. You can get this at Ulta. This protects up to 450 degrees. No way in heck would I ever use anything above like 350 on my hair. But just spritz your hair all over. And then I'm gonna work that through with my brush again. I'm gonna use my Air Smoothing Cream. This helps create a little bit more of a smoother finish and adds shine. I feel like I just have a little bit more control when I use this. I really like the Air products. They have a texture spray and a hairspray, and the smell is amazing. It smells like cotton candy. Anything cotton candy and coconut, I have a weakness for. Okay, next product is the 8 to 10 Miracle Blow Dry Spray. The sprayer on this is like broken. It normally sprays as a mist. Mine is like a stream. This I mainly focus on my root. It gives me a little bit of a lift and stiffness at my root. I do have very fine hair. I have a lot of it, but it's finer, and it just lays really flat. So this gives it some volume. I work it through my root. This is the blow dryer I use. It's the Babyliss Ceramics Extreme. I've had this since 2019 and it is still going strong. I only set it on the warm setting. It is not necessary for you to have it all the way on the hot setting. It's just too hot, and warm gets the job done just as fast as hot with using a lower temperature, and it's safer for your scalp and your hair. When I first start blow drying, I mainly focus on my root, and then in my problem areas, which are my cowlicks, I have a gnarly cowlick right here, and if I don't over direct this forward, it's gonna stay like that, and it lays flat on my head and I hate it. So this is where I start first, and I work at my root to blow dry the water down towards the mid shaft and the ends. I get my hair about, I would say 80-85% dry before I even start going in with a round brush. I also blow dry my hair going the opposite way, so if my hair parts this way, I blow dry it this way, and vice versa, just so I get more volume. Also, as I am over directing my cowlick, I do use a round brush, and then I set that aside and get going with the root. This is size 55. I feel like this is kind of like a universal size unless you have very short hair, but this gives a really good blowout for longer hair. It's not too small, not too big. So I feel like this is a really good universal one. Now we got the cowlick under control as best as we can. She's a tough one. I'm gonna blow dry my roots all over, mainly focusing up here to get that volume. Okay, my hair is pretty much 80% dry. I do my nape, above my ear, above the temple, and then this section. I have crazy cowlicks that don't really want to cooperate, so I will blow dry my hair down and then scoop it with a round brush and get that bend to it. Well, thought I was recording that nape section and I was not, so I'm just going to go through really quick and show you guys what I do all over again. And then blast it with the cold. Okay, nape section's the hardest thing to do because it's such an awkward angle. This is as good as it's gonna look. Next section. What I mean when I say blast it with the cold, you don't have to change the actual temperature on here. You just quickly click this button. It just shoots cold air and it adds shine, seals your cuticle, eliminates frizz. I lied. I don't know if the nape section's harder or this section right here. I don't even know if it's smooth or not, but it's an awkward angle to do on yourself. So cut yourself some slack if you're not gonna get this the first time. I've been doing hair for quite a while and it's still a challenge for me to do it. I have a lot of postpartum hair loss through this section. So I do over direct this hair forward just to kind of make it shape my face a little bit more and cover up that thinning. Hair's at a funky length right now where it's not going under that well. It's smooth. That's all that matters to me. Also, the amount of volume you have in your hair really depends on how much you elevate your brush, if that makes sense. Did I word that right? I'm having a really hard time getting my bangs straight, but we're not going to worry about that. And also, the amount of volume you get makes a huge difference in the amount of layers you have, the thickness of your hair, if it's texturized or not. I have no layers, so I like to use a texturizing spray to get the effect of volume from layers without having layers. So I use the Air Texture Air Spray. It smells amazing, and I just section it, spray it up. And it just gives it like a little bit of grit to your hair, but not over the top where it's gonna feel dirty. I have super silky hair and it does not hold. I do think I want to add a little bit more layers just for a little bit more of like an Avery Woods blowout.